And so that actually just made me think of something. And, you know, I'm claiming ignorance, and I didn't let you know I was going to ask this. So if it's not some direction we want to go, that's cool. But I know that women get very little of venture funds, and you were talking about how when you get funding, you're giving away a bit of control, right? And a lot of times that control looks like you got to work really hard to meet somebody else's now expectations. Do you think that, women aren't going for funding as much? Do you think it might have something to do with not wanting to, put themselves in a position where they're going to have to really try and hit some benchmarks that are going to be, are women going for funding and not getting it? Or do you think that maybe there's something there in the way that, just a difference in approach that might be more, just look a little bit more positive to certain types of people?
Yeah, so there's a lot to unpack in that question. And when we think
Yeah,
of women in tech, whether it's like women as data scientists, women as software engineers, women as startup employees, women at big tech, or even women as founders, there's still quite an underrepresented population overall. And I've seen this at every startup I've worked at, where it's still predominantly male driven. And I don't think it needs to be that way. And I think that organizations are not making enough efforts to encourage and to bring in talented women partners into companies as leaders. I'm not even talking about just as engineers and like middle managers, but bring women into leadership. I've worked with a variety of all-star women at the startups I've worked with, and they are powerful both voices and business leaders who can get things done. And I think often it's a part of an evolution in the world of work and tech, is that traditionally, women were not exploring the field as much. And now we're seeing the early data coming out from top universities that more than half of the learners in some of these computer science programs are women in tech. So why aren't we seeing the same parity for women being placed in tech jobs, or women's salaries receiving the same amount? And that is, at the end of the day, it's because organizations are slow to adapt. They're slow to do change management, and there needs to be more efforts from organizations, from nonprofits, from regulators to ensure that we have more of a fair playing field for women getting into tech.